You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech, featuring a weekly roundup of tech news and gossip. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host for Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech.
Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, the show we break down nerd culture, tech news from a black and brown geek perspective.
Oh, wow. You finally got it right today.
I'm on point today.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I'm on point.
Okay. I see you over there.
I mess it up every single week, y'all, so I'm sorry, but I got it this right. Watch it again. Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, the show we break down nerd culture and tech news from a black and brown geek perspective.
Look at you.
Me.
No, fired,
I'm Joe Braswell. I'm joined, as always, by my man, Achilles Shine.
Yes, sir, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. A bit fatigued today, but, it's life.
It's life. Achilles and I had a big weekend of work and maybe a little bit of play in Las Vegas. We'll talk about that later. We're at the fight. And also have my girl, Alexis Torres, in the booth. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, everybody. Also, I would rather not talk about the fight. Just saying.
All right, fair enough. But we do have someone in the panel with us. We have our friend Andre Walters, who's here from Yuno.
He's in the building.
From Yuno.com. We talked to Andre a couple weeks ago. .co,
Yeah.
excuse me. That's very important. Yuno.co. We talked to Andre on the phone a couple weeks ago, and he was in town, and we invited him to come in, and we can sort of get a little more into the app and sort of him. You've done a lot in the tech space and in the legal space, and so we think our viewers and listeners want to hear more about you. So
For
here
sure.
you are.
And I just want to add, appreciate you efforting to come on the show.
Absolutely.
Our discussion last time was great, and I know that you're going to break down some science on this one. So, man, thank you again for coming
Hey,
through.
no problem. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So let's get right into it. I want to just talk about the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. Now, we know that there's been all kinds of news about the fight, and I don't want to talk about the fight itself.
Of course.
I don't want to talk about all the post-fight hoopla with the rotator cuffs and the voiding of the thing by the Boxing Commission and all that stuff. What I do want to talk about is the money in the tech. Now, we know that it generated a lot of money.
Gobs of money.
Gobs of
Just
money.
a little bit.
Just a tad bit.
We know that that obviously the closed circuit and the pay-per-view market was fantastic.
Yeah.
We talked about where this could go in the pay-per-view world, where down the line that we'll be able to sort of stream these pay-per-view and stream them on our devices.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But what's happening now? One thing that is happening right now, which is a big thing, is Periscope. The brand new Periscope, the Meerkat and Periscope are just on the scene,
Not even 4 months old.
and they're disrupting all kind of stuff. So
As we forecasted.
Right. We've been talking about Periscope for the last 3 weeks, and so the big thing here is Periscope. A lot of folks at the fight were streaming or periscoping the fight live,
Right.
broadcasting out to their God knows how many followers.
Correct.
So stealing Showtime's money,
And not just the folks at the fight, but folks at the crib,
Yes.
who did order the fight, were like, "Yo, you don't got to order the fight, homie. I'll just Periscope it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that was very true. So the interesting thing here, and this is, I'm glad we have an attorney here, but but the interesting thing here's with tech, the technology curve is always so far ahead of the legal curve. So that's just the way it works.
Right.
So it takes, no matter what it is, the technology comes out, and then the technology is moving, and then now in our social times, it's social people, media, and followers are attached to this.
Right.
It blows up, and then the legal community is scrambling to figure out how to control it.
I think it's a fine line too, man, because a company like Periscope, owned by Twitter, obviously they want to be in bed with cable companies and people that are creating content on a high level like that. So it's like, you want to provide an additional experience to the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
hey, it could be like the stuff that's in the locker room, or it could be the stuff that's after the fight. And so I think it's a fine line, because you want to use it for that purpose, to give the audience additional content, which creates more of a media storm for you. But then in the instance, the flip side of the coin is that people are using it to pirate it. So it's like in one corner you have the cable companies that want to get all the money. Another corner you have Periscope that wants to be able to create an opportunity for content for its audience. It's like, how do you manage that in a way that protects people's copyright, people's legality? So
well, I mean, I think I sort of get your opinion by your answer there, but I just want to ask you both. I mean, is this a problem? I mean, I know, like I said, the intent of Periscope is to enhance. I love the idea of people being at the fight and showing you, so I'm sitting next to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm here at the fight.
Yeah.
This is happening in real time.
Yeah.
There's Diddy. Like, I like the idea of all that. Or what if Jimmy Kimmel was in the locker room streaming live,
Exactly.
or whatever that is. I mean, that those are things that what Periscope is made for. But sitting at the crib, like in front of the TV, like the whole time, like, y'all getting this?
yeah, like the whole point of it is to augment the experience, not to replace it. And I think that's what we saw with this. Like, it's replacing it. Like, I mean, you got to think the ticket to watch the fight was $100,
Yep.
and like now you can watch it for free just by downloading the app.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's kind of messed up.
It's going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Supreme Court type of problem. We just saw it play out in broadcast with
Right.
Arrow, right? Like that was
Yeah.
the same exact issue, and
Sure.
broadcast won
Yeah.
at
Man.
the end of the day. So your copyright has to be protected. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we like to see disruptors because it advances society.
For sure.
I agree, but
Big point.
but my point is it's a slippery slope when it comes to those type of things because. Let's just say, they shut that down. Where it would break down legally for me is if they deem Periscope as a broadcast.
Yeah.
So if they define what you're doing at Periscope as a broadcast, then that's when you start to have some legal action there.
But that's the thing. Tech companies are no longer just tech companies. They're becoming media companies.
Sure.
So Periscope is a broadcast company.
Right.
Twitter is a broadcast company.
However, Periscope may be a broadcast company, but Joe Braswell is not a network.
Right. True.
I'm to do with a phone.
Right.
So why you coming after me?
Right.
I'm a guy with a phone. Sorry.
But
I Facebooked it. I Instagrammed it. I Twittered
deterrence,
it.
though.
I Periscoped it.
You
Get off
accept,
me.
you accept those terms
my
and
net worth
conditions.
is $5.
You accept those terms and conditions when you download the app. So you have to abide by those laws in that condition.
And that's how you get to. This reminds me very much of the music piracy kerfuffle, the Napster thing. This is kind of reminds me of that. Initially, when like we're gonna share music, and then they pick a couple individuals, start cracking down on like you're sharing the music, you're going to jail.
That's right.
Same thing with the piracy on the.
It's a deterrent.
Yeah, and so I might be on my Periscope like, and then if someone knocks on my door, I'm
not doing no time. Copyright infringement.
delete. So yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, all people are all over the place with this. I think like when it comes to how you use this technology and how you, I think what it boils down to is the fine line of being somewhere. And like for instance, what's copyrightable? Like so, let's say you're at an NBA game and all those NBA rights are locked down. We all know this. We've experienced the NBA. So, but I'm at the NBA game. I'm periscoping it from my own perspective, and I'm broadcasting it to like let's say I'm Kim Kardashian, my 45 million followers. I've got more ratings instantly than TNT does.
Man.
So
I think it's just I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, what's the difference if I take a photo and post it on Instagram, or if I take video and I post it on Instagram for later versus it being live in the moment? What's the difference?
I think the only difference though is that Instagram 15-second rule, right? You know, a user can't get a full experience that they would get if they just paid $100 and downloaded the site.
That's true. It's very true, and I think that like you're talking about you're talking about a broadcast versus a capture. Right. I think that's the issue. I think that I mean, if you were to just even use your iPhone and record, let's just say you just rolled on the whole concert or the whole game, and then decided you were going to post the whole concert or the whole game on your site, like Joe Braswell GameTime.com, and charged for it. That's a problem.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Well, let me put my legal hat for 1 second.
Yes, sir, please do.
I think the issue will turn on whether or not Periscope is contributing to the infringement.
Right.
That's the real question, because if they are, those are the deep pockets. Nobody cares about the
small
person.
guys.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, and the other thing is like in the example I gave, where you're going to joebraswell.com and paying some money. I'm not asking you to pay nothing. I'm just a guy. Hey, check this out. Here's where I'm at. I'm at the Great Wall of China.
It's not
This
commercial.
is happening.
But I think that was Periscope's argument. Like, when they said, okay, HBO, Showtime were like, hey, people are pirating right now. They shut down half of them immediately, and the other half they were were gone before they could find them.
Wow.
So I mean, in a way, they were like trying to accommodate the cable company. So
right.
I feel like Periscope is in the right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what we love about technology.
And also
bring the issue forward.
And not to beat this in the ground. I think this is fascinating, but I mean, how do you differentiate between what is experiential and then what is like a straightforward pirate? Right. So I think that's the thing. So like again, the example I gave where I'm in the stands, I'm like, this is Tom Brady. Here I am. I'm at Periscope. I mean, I'm at the fight. Like that's an experiential thing that you're sharing to your friend. That's Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know what's wrong with that? Like so, I don't see anybody on Snapchat.
Not at all.
This is the same situation. Yeah. You can roll a 5-minute Snapchat video and post it, although it disappears.
And to that point, like HBO actually used Periscope during the fight for their own purposes, doing exactly that. You know what I'm saying? So like that is a fine line.
Talking out of both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what is that? What is the fine line between an experiential video situation versus a straightforward pirate? Like if I'm sitting in the theater front row watching the Avengers, I'm like, check it. Here you go, opening night. That's different
next
from
scene brought to you by
right, exactly. If you follow me, I got the next scene. That's different from being at a concert and being there in experiential. So I think that ultimately this is just going to fall on the people who feel infringed upon. And because a lot of times
the greedy cable company.
Well, but it depends on whatever this intellectual media property is, whatever media property is, because a lot of these times it's to that person's advantage. At the South by Southwest example, where where Weezy did the secret show and everyone periscoped it and went all out. Like that was
they applauded that.
That was Lil Wayne's advantage. Right. That was the South by Southwest advantage.
Sure, of course.
No one was but. Who knows if Lil Wayne did a concert where he's charging a lot of money, he's making money, and folks are doing that, he might be mad. Mm-hmm. So what that's just really fascinating to see where this goes from here.
Very fine line. Yep.
Very, very fine line. All right, so speaking of Periscope, also its competitor Meerkat is trying to differentiate itself because Meerkat was first. And Meerkat, really came on the scene, and they were making a lot of noise, and they were like sort of they were the answer to Snapchat. They're like, you like Snapchat? We're Meerkat. Right. We can stream whole videos, and then you can delete it, and no one will ever know.
Sound like McDonald's McDowell's.
Yeah, McDonald's. Yes, the McDougal's or whatever. So that was cool, and then Periscope came in and just obliterated them. Yeah. It actually reminds me a lot of what's on if you're watching Silicon Valley right now, what's happening with the whole thing that's happening with Nucleus versus Huli. Yeah. It's very competing. Yeah. So now poor old Meerkat, who's getting left in the dust, is trying to figure out a way how to differentiate itself from Periscope. And
I mean, my point on this, I think it's sad. I think it's sad that Meerkat was first, and I mean they were promoted by iTunes. After South by Southwest, they're like in the top 10 of downloads for broadcast apps or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Twitter pulled the plug on them, and like now they're like below 80, you know what I'm saying, rated 80. But I think what's cool about Periscope and Meerkat is that it's offering the consumer a place to actually not just consume content, but actually create content. And I think that's really awesome. That, for the last decade, the content that we interface with is something we either share, but now we're in a position of power where we can create the content and share. So it's a duality.
We're doing a little bit of that in Yuno too, by the way.
For sure.
We'll get to that. Sure. I think that's the key.
Right.
I mean, you're right, because I think that when we used to download Meerkat, it would also say sign into Twitter, and now that's gone.
Right.
Twitter's like all Periscope. Yeah. So what Meerkat's doing is they're opening up their platforms to developers, right. And which is the way you innovate, right? You say, okay, fine, I don't need the big boys. There are hundreds of thousands of people out here who have way better ideas than I do. Yeah. So come on in, help Meerkat, help us beat Periscope. How can we develop this into something cool that is content oriented and otherwise? And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. They have to, or they're gonna be invisible.
That's right.
I mean, they, like you said, they open up their API for developers to be able to come and innovate in that space to create more opportunities, additional add-ons to Meerkat. Right. I think that's good. And the thing that's different about Meerkat and Periscope is that Meerkat, the broadcast, it actually disappears. But with Periscope, you get to make it serialized or make it episodic. You can have people watch it after after that time is gone. So I think Meerkat has to innovate to give added bonus or value to its end user. So
let me ask you this. This is a side question. What does this do for like the Vines of the world? Like the Vines and the so Vine still seems to be happening, and Vine is also Twitter property, right? And so like and Vine has its own culture and its own stars and like people who do these videos in 5 seconds. There's people who do series on Vine, and Vine's still extremely popular. Right. It seemed like the answer to Vine was Snapchat. We're going to give you longer video, longer time, but Vine didn't go anywhere. But now you have Periscope. Like, what's the future of Vine in your opinion? I'm just curious. This is a curveball.
I would say, Vine is for a specific audience. In my opinion, it's for a niche audience. It's for a younger audience. I think Periscope or Meerkat is for maybe more of an older audience. Right. In terms of like, you got to think companies want to use Periscope and Meerkat to promote their products, promote their movies, whatever forms of media they have. Like to me, Vine is for like kids. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference.
Right. Lexi, do you use Vine?
I do, but I don't use it for that kind of sense. I mean, I agree with you, Akili, to a point, but I also don't. I have to disagree because even though, yes, it is kind of more for a kid's perspective, if you want to say it, or the younger generation, I feel like it's more of a way to really see that someone can show their art form of doing a video in a certain amount of time, and it's more of a comedic timing. You know what I mean? So that's why most people who are on Vine, they do more comedic videos than like with Periscope. More companies and like places like this that do live events and stuff like that are more for bigger people, and that it shows. I'm trying to put all my words together there, but I think that Vine is more for just an entertainment perspective, and then Periscope is more for the behind the scenes, showing how, like, if for the Manny Pacquiao fight, like how it feels to be in the audience, and then Vine is more like just to do something that's more to entertain.
Well, yeah, I feel like Vine is like you said, Akili, and like what you're saying, Les, Vine is very specific and it's very niched out, and has a lot to do with like if you and being able to do something in a specific amount of time. It's almost like a dare or a test. Mm-hmm. Can you communicate this information in X amount of seconds? Go. And the people who do that have become and made this an art form, whereas Periscope something else. I'm kind of answering my own question. You guys helped me answer it, so thank you very much. So Vine's not going anywhere. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Apple Beats, man. I gotta say, I sound like I'm retroactively saying this, but something was wrong with this deal from the very beginning to me. Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that something was off. I mean, when it was announced, it was like, okay, I didn't quite see how or what. And then, as you know, we're excited. We're talking about the Apple Beats, sort of the acquisition of Beats by Apple. Yep. How are we going to integrate? Beats Music was out. How are they going to integrate that into iTunes? Yeah. And then they made all this noise. They brought in Zane Lowe. Zane Lowe came here from the UK. It was all this noise, and then it's kind of disappeared. Yeah. Right. Like there's no integration with Beats Music and iTunes. There's no talk. It got really quiet.
It's in the incubator.
It's in the incubator.
Yeah, I mean that's an Apple move though. You want to keep it top secret. That's what they do with all their products.
Okay, well,
but like, what are you saying? Like, make the point.
The FTC does it. They got their own incubator, and they're saying that this is something dirty happened in the. I don't know if they're looking into it only, or they're saying, but just. They say the deal is a little shady.
Well, it is shady. Come on, they're trying to monopolize the music industry. Yeah. Like it's bringing about an anti-competition discussion in the sense that Apple has iTunes, which is the biggest store in the world for music. Like, and if they choose to, like, hey, Taylor Swift, only drop your album through iTunes, like that kills Spotify. That kills all the music streaming companies that are in competition. And not just that, like if to download Spotify or a music streaming app through Apple, you have to pay them 30%. Yeah. Like they're getting a share of that already off top. So like Apple Beats doesn't have to pay that 30% because it's owned by Apple. So think about all those things. Like it has a competitive edge. Yeah. Or like for instance, Apple Beats is not going to have a freemium model versus Spotify does. So I mean, if they come with exclusive content or they lock in labels or artists that are just dropping their music through their channels, like Spotify is going to lose. And that's what it is because legally they can't do that.
I think for Apple it was a defensive move though because now you look at it, streaming is the hot topic. They wanted to get in get their positioning in the music industry to be able to have some leverage. I mean, so now you got Jay-Z's title, right? And I think what Jay's trying to do is he's trying to fight against them and say, hey, I can get the artists that provide the content. Right. So now it's this war in the streaming space. So we'll see how it plays out. But
we'll see how it plays out. I think I mentioned this last time. It's very, this is not unlike, the format wars are not new to technology. This happened with the laser disc versus the beta versus the VHS, VHS won temporarily, and then the DVD and the Blu-ray, and then now who knows what's going to happen there. We see this in consoles all the time, and video game consoles. We see this in all kinds of format wars. Like I said, we most recently saw an HDVD versus Blu-ray. Who remembers HDVD? I had a gang of HDVDs. I don't know where they're in the corner now.
Right.
Like my DVD player is gone. So
I think Apple's in and I said this on the show before. Apple's in the best position to win because they have more money.
Yep.
I mean, they can afford to spend gobs of marketing dollars on it.
But do you think that this is going to spell the death of Spotify and Tidal and?
I think so. I think Apple's going to kill them.
Without question. Spotify too, because Spotify's pretty robust right now.
They're robust with the freemium model.
Yeah.
So what? They're making money. They're not making money off the user. They're making money off of ads. You know what I'm saying? That's most of their money.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
it's gonna be get down or lay down.
Okay.
So it's gonna be Spotify will probably be an Apple company.
I hope so. Spotify already got my money. I paid my $10 a month. Happily, I might add.
And you're a part of that 30%. 30% of their consumers are paid subscribers. 70% are free.
Yeah. That's terrible numbers.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like a fool. I'm on the wrong side. Why am I paying? I should be doing free.
Man.
All right. I messed up again. Go ahead.
I say we get into it, man.
What?
Why we get into?
Yeah. We're here. We're here. We're here. Just really quick. I just want to touch on TechCrunch happened. In New York. Big expo, big competition. A company called Liquidity One, which I think is a water purification company.
Yeah.
Very cool story. Very cool win. You can check in that.
Are you hip to TechCrunch?
Yeah, I'm hip to it, but I hadn't been there.
Okay.
But Purify, that sounds like a P&G
future
company.
And Liquidity, it's really, it's definitely, it came down to about 5 companies. It's just really all these, the prize is only $50,000, but
it's the title.
Stage.
Exactly. It's the stage, it's the title. All these people are going to get funded up the yin yang.
Yeah.
So that $50,000 is like pocket change. That's where you go out, you spend that at the bar when you win. We won. And then you go get your first round $100 million. So that happens. That's good. And then I want to get into let's do the Loot Crate towards the end, because I do want to get into Andre.
Yeah, no worries. Please.
All right, that's cool. And also, I saw Avengers. I want to talk about that at some point, but
Yes!
I hate you.
We saw it.
Where's my invite? Doc? Where's my invite, bro?
Man, I could wait.
Okay,
we were working.
I got you.
We should have
Achille, I'll go with you again.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
You saw me cock the heat, right?
I'll see it again. Well, actually, real quick, I want to get your opinion. You saw it.
I did.
Okay, what did you think?
Not better than the first one.
Really?
I'm just gonna be honest, man. Might not be popular.
Okay,
I don't know. It just didn't have the energy of the first one. There were a couple cool scenes,
right?
But overall, it's like, eh.
Did you feel sort of like I've been there, done that?
Yeah,
watching
I felt like it dragged on way longer than it had
It's
to.
long. It's long.
It was like what, 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
And they pretty much about a half an hour worth of real action.
Yeah, a lot of exposition.
I did like the Thor scene though, the hammer scene.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give it away. But
there's a lot in there.
That was pretty dope.
Lex, what did you think, Lex?
I have to agree with Andre that I felt like the first one was better than the second one. I did like it because it's very Whedon. I've been a fan of Buffy and a few other things that he's done, Firefly, things like that. It's very the comedic timing and the again, I'm not going to give two-way Achille because I don't want you to do that, but just the comedy and how kind of lame sometimes it is, and then sometimes it actually hits and it's real funny. It's very Whedon. It's a hit or miss.
I liked it a lot. I liked it probably better than both of you guys. I agree that it was a bit long, but I'm also kind of and I don't know. I'm separate from the average moviegoer, because if I would look at it as just like a movie in a bubble in its own vacuum, I think it holds up. But I'm also looking at it in the Marvel way of
the setup.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours because there's a lot of exposition that has to happen to set up
I completely agree.
the next 3-4 movies.
Yeah.
They got to set up Civil War and Thor 3 and the next Avengers, and they've got to also tie in the last 4 movies that came into that, which is Captain America and the old Avengers. So they got to tie in those old movies. They got to set up 3 movies. So that's a lot, and they got to take care of all the business within that story itself.
And they got to deal with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So and they got to deal with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. world and the Agent Carter world that's happening. So that's a lot to get done in 2 hours.
Apologist.
Look, I'm just saying. Like, I do admire the ability to take all of those properties and have a script tight enough to be able to like take care of all that business.
I completely agree.
And then still give me my action and still give me what I want. I mean, I'm 44. I still love seeing Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man fly around. Like that's why I pay to see. I'm like, there they go. Like that's all I really care about. Like but so I like to laugh. But we can talk about it more once Achilles seen it. We'll give an official review.
Yeah.
Cool. So now our guest, Mr. Andre Walters.
Yes. Man, he's in the building.
Thank you for coming. No problem. I want we talk about the app Yuno App Inc. Is the company. The site is Yuno.co. Yuno.co. Yep. We talked a little bit about it last week. I want to sort of do like a small reset. I want you to give me the top line on Yuno, and then I want to dive into you, and then we can go back into Yuno. Yeah. Oh, you know. Okay. So why don't you give us tell us a little bit about Yuno.
So we're a social capital company.
Okay.
I like to say, right?
I like that.
So the service we provide is e-commerce. We're in the e-commerce space, but I like to say we're a social capital company disguised as an e-commerce company. Okay. And the premise of it is really straightforward. I mean, we offer tons of products. I think we've got like 5 million in our database, something like that. Wow. We've got like over 200 well-known brands, products from those brands. Neiman Marcus, Saks, those kind of folks. Dope. And basically, everything you buy in Yuno, you actually get cash back on it, no matter what. And every time someone else buys something in Yuno because of you get cash back on that too. Okay. So it really is about who you know and your influence.
The references.
Yeah,
to
so
aggregate that.
We found a very smooth way to do it. So, some people have referred to us as like the Instagram of e-commerce. And they think we have that potential because one thing we wanted to do was take the effort out of it. If you've ever been asked to refer something to someone, it's usually a lot of work. Right. Like, hey, remember to share this link or do this, do that.
Right.
So we took all that out of it. The only thing you have to do in Yuno is see something you like and buy it.
That's going to be one thing. Kind of walk me through. I'll hop on the app or hop on the site. Tell me the experience. What happens?
So you walk on the site, and first thing you see are products that we have curated for you. So our director of content, her team, they kind of do all the curation. And you see something you like, hopefully, and the first thing you'll see, 2 pieces of information, key information. So one's the price, and the other thing is how much you can earn. And so, say it's a $50 item, and it might say earn $4. And if you buy that item, you earn $4. Plain and simple, right? But when you buy it, you have followers. You have all those kind of folks on there. And when you buy it, then ultimately, and that's the old app, so but it's okay. We'll break it down. But when you buy it, it automatically gets shared with your friends, with your followers. And so everyone has a profile page.
So, for instance, I buy a pair of headphones. Achilles shines on my followers. He buys a pair of Beats.
Yeah, exactly. And you have a profile page, so it'll show all your purchased items, including those headphones. And so people who are browsing, they may come to your page and they may, hit you with a comment, hey, Achilles is cool. Or they might actually buy it. So kind of doing the voyeuristic thing. And if they actually buy it, then we'll give you actual cash.
Gotcha.
Right? Just automatically.
So the idea being that, social media site, we all follow each other. The idea being is I think Achilles he's my friend on Yuno. I think he's a cool cat. Right. What's he buy? Like Achilles always got the freshest whatever with freshest kicks.
Yep.
Achilles just bought that new hat. I might want that hat too.
That's right.
And then so it's that.
Yeah. Exactly. So if you buy the same item or a related item, we're still going to give the original purchaser cash back.
I don't look just like Achilles. I'm gonna buy a blue hat.
Is it cash back? Is it like actual cash back into my account, or is it cash to be used within the site?
Actual cash back in your account.
Oh, that's dope.
So we'll let you transfer it to your bank account through PayPal or even Venmo at some point.
So tell me about the back to the curation.
Yep.
So is this some stuff that is individually curated? Like, I'm sure I don't know if you're there yet, but is this something that just sort of someone curates for the site in general, and then for the masses, and then they like, because for instance, I may hate all the stuff Akita likes, or like I may have my own individual taste.
Yep.
Does it will we get to the point where it starts to know what I like, or is it just sort of a general curation?
Yes and yes. Okay. So you're correct on both fronts. So so we have initially we're going to curate for the masses with a diverse content curation team. Okay. So folks that essentially can shop for millions. Essentially what we do. So out of the millions of products we have, we'll make sure that front and center are the ones that we think people are really going to want to buy.
The hot buys.
The hot buys. Right. But what happens is, and because you have followers, you have connections, all of a sudden your friends start to curate for you.
Right.
Because like you said, I mean, if you're following Achille and he bought these headphones, then, the headphones pop up on his profile and you follow his profile. Right. And so, also because you get related items too, it could be, I don't know, earpiece, it could be all kinds of things related to the headphones. But if you bought any of those things, he'll get cash back for that. And you'll get it too, by the way.
Right.
So on every transaction, two people win. Right. The person who essentially is responsible for putting you on to an item, but also the individual that actually bought the item.
Right.
So you're incentivizing the consumer by giving them the reward system. How are you building the social angle of it? Like, I mean, can you communicate with?
You can.
Okay,
yeah. So on any item, there's sort of comment capability, and the comments stay with the products. And so if you have people following you, they can see when you commented, they can see when you liked an item. Those are pretty much the three main actions for any user: buy, like, comment. Right, and on any particular item. So that's how we kind of keep that rolling. And you can still share. We give you capabilities within the system to share via Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and everything else to keep it all sort of consistent. But this platform is dedicated to being true social commerce.
I love it. So talk to me a little about, like, I understand. Talk to me about the incentive of the brands to be involved. Obviously, in theory, you build this great network of very cool people or shoppers in general, and the brands will never not want to reach consumers, right? That's the theory. So you then go to brands and say, hey, I've got this group of consumers that want to buy your stuff.
That's right.
And they say, okay, and then they sign up. Is that? And
so we approach them and we try to get approval from them to be able to push their products. And we use APIs to tap into all their products and then present them on our side. So we want to give the users an experience. That's first and foremost. For the brands themselves, it's pretty easy because it's free. Right? So this is like actionable Facebook. Right? Actionable Instagram. So instead of just, here's something cool, take a look at it, right? Now Instagram has the learn more button. So you hit the learn more and then maybe you'll get to an action. We cut out all fluff, right? There's an entertainment experience around buying products. We do it all the time. Like, yo, man, you see these headphones, you see these sneaks I got.
Right.
Like that sort of action, that process is really, really entertaining to me.
I mean, I think that's the thing about social commerce, that it's not just transactional. It has to have kind of like the experiential aspect. Like when you walk into a store with your boy, like you have that conversation. Like, oh, these kicks are dope.
That's
like, oh, I like those. So you're pretty much creating that experience within the site.
Exactly right. And people do it right now, sporadically throughout all these platforms. So you'll see somebody post a picture of sneakers or something, and they're just basically saying, hey, look at these kicks I got. And we're capturing that.
Right. And in a perfect world, I mean, I'm sure you would love to have, I'm giving a best case scenario. Kim Kardashian joins the site.
Exactly. Right.
In a
she's gonna have a lot of followers.
Yeah, so she'll come in instantly, and then whatever she's buying, everyone wants to buy.
Exactly.
And then, just one or two of those people like that can completely explode the site.
And what's even cooler, like, maybe you have Kim Light. So not quite Kim Kardashian, but somebody who's coming up. Well, the thing is, we've created a way for them to take advantage of their social capital. Because now, everything that they push, now there's a way to actually get compensated for it.
For sure.
In a very streamlined way, by the way. I think the one thing that we do subtle is that we're not pushy at all in So you don't have to, like, push it on to your friends. Hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's not that. It's, you just observe.
It's organic.
Yeah, it's organic. You observed that I bought something. You were drawn to my profile because you're probably nosy more than anything. Right? And while you were there, you were browsing. Basically what we've done is everyone now has their own e-commerce platform.
For sure.
Right? And it's made up of things that you actually bought. That's,
So this is more of a marketing question in terms of like how you're going to build that core audience. Like, are you going after like key influencers? Or you going to have like ambassadors that have that social audience? Like, do you guys have something in place like that? Where like, hey, we're going to go after athletes or blah blah blah. You know what I mean? People.
Well, we've got a little bit of that, but honestly, Yuno's core mission at the end of the day is we're about helping the ordinary person leverage their social capital.
I feel it.
Right? Because it's the ordinary people that are really driving social media right now, and they're not really seeing a return for their activity.
Right.
And so so we wanted to create a way for the regular person who, is trying to say, hey, how could I essentially leverage my social capital right here in Yuno?
That makes sense.
Because you're going to buy stuff all the time, and you're going to tell your friends what you bought all the time. Of
course.
That's a part of what we do, right? It's natural, right? So, but up until Yuno, there was no way to capitalize on that in a way that was not pushy, that was natural and seamless, right? And that's exactly what we're bringing to the table. So we essentially fused the best of all worlds, and we created this platform. It's been a long time in the making. I think we've perfected it now. So first thing, you guys had the app up there. It's not an app anymore. So we released an app. It's browser-based. Gotcha. So it'll be responsive and optimized for tablet and phone. But the app, we released an app of November of last year, and after about 60 days, it was a beta. We pulled it, and we retooled, and that's why we're relaunching, middle of the summer.
Great, fantastic. Yeah. So I'm completely on board and fascinated by the potential of this. I want to I've got more questions. So I get the base level of what it is and how and what the launch will be and how this is going to work out. I'm also interested in the how can I put this? The model itself is so interesting. Have you thought about the non-e-commerce applications? For instance, like Amazon kind of does this with podcasters, for instance. Like, so if Amazon sponsors this podcast, they have a code, put in Geek.Nerd.Tech, and every time you buy something using that code, the show gets money. So that's kind of a thing that they do, or that's kind of a way for them to raise money. Or when you're trying to raise money, I'm thinking of like Kickstarters and there's other ways to raise money. Like once you have a network that's strong and there's a commerce element to it, is there a possibility to do other things besides just buy stuff?
Yeah, you're good, man. I'm gonna have you be a part of my consultative team because this is definitely a part of our future as well. Okay. Like, because you're right. I mean, the application of leveraging social capital goes far beyond e-commerce.
Sure.
And so right now, people just haven't paid enough attention to the value that ordinary people are creating right now on social media. We are. Right. We care a lot about it. Sure. We know that everybody's pretty much a celebrity now. Yeah. I mean, you got 300 friends on Facebook. When you speak, people are listening. That's the definition of a celebrity. And then you speak, other people listen technically. So yeah, I mean, and I'm big on charitable things and things like that. Like, there are tons of ways that I want to use this in the future. So we're just getting started, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that, look, this is no secret, and I'm not like pulling the curtain back from anything you're doing. That, like, social capital is the future. I mean, like, this is so
totally agree.
So it's already existing. It's already there.
It's there, right.
So the innovators, the smart people, are figuring out how to use how to come up with ways to take advantage of this already existing social equity and social capital. Yep. So social capital, social equity are two of my favorite terms.
Yes.
Because if you can figure out a way through whether it is commerce, entertainment, a mixture of both, to sort of get people's attention and then have them do what they're already doing and then facilitate a larger thing. Yeah, I think you're a genius.
And that's exactly what we say. We're rewarding people for doing what they already do. Right. Buying products and telling their friends what they bought. That's it. Right. That's what Yuno's doing.
So how did you get so smart?
I appreciate that.
What makes you special?
I'm just I'm a worker, man. I'm a worker. I love learning. I love thinking strategically, and I come from a background. We talked about this a little bit last time. Jamaican household. Parents didn't go to college, but they were really big on education.
Big time.
Really big on education and the opportunities in America.
Right.
And I just really took that to heart. And I just kept rolling with it.
Well, we touched on this last week, but I want to get into sort of like your specific background and path, because we like to really, we have a lot of listeners who are potential, who are current entrepreneurs, and also a lot of people who, or want to get into business and or business through the tech space, specifically us, black folks and brown folks. So we talk to a little about your path. I know that you came through you came through the legal ranks, but how did you make that transition into tech? Or just give me a little bit of your journey.
Sure. So I mean, I went to law school, University of Baltimore, undergrad, University of Delaware, got a degree in English. When I got out of law school, man, I actually thought I was going to do the whole entertainment thing, right? I wanted to, at least. And the story goes, I had a job from a brother, who was giving me a job, solo practitioner, And when it came time to actually get the job, we signed a contract and everything, but he backed out on me. And it was like heartbreaking because I was engaged and it was oh no, my life's over. But it wasn't, right? And right before that, I did an internship at BET. So after my second year law school, I interned at BET, and that's when my eyes went wide open, like, oh my God, look at this.
You saw some inner workings.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was sort of the basis of...
This is in D.C.?
This is in D.C. I used to drive from Baltimore to D.C. every day during that summer, getting paid $10 an hour, hour each way. And anybody from that area knows
that's your grind.
That's the grind, man. So, but I loved it. It was the best experience, and I knew at that point that entertainment was something I wanted to be a part of. And then fast forward, I'm working at this law firm right out of law school doing commercial lending work. Anybody know what that is? No, it's okay because I didn't know either.
You might.
I didn't know.
You're smarter than me.
I had no idea, but I really didn't care because I needed a job. This is after my man backed out.
Right.
And after working there for a couple years or a year and a half or so, I realized I hated it. And that's when I had this big aha moment in life. And I said, you know what? Actually, more precisely, I'm a sports guy. I love sports. And one day I'm literally in my office. I'm looking out the window, and I got to tell you the story. Your viewers have to hear the story.
Let's hear it.
And these folks who are with me, they've heard it forever. But I'm in my office one day, close my door, eat my lunch, and I just had this moment, beautiful sunny day, and I said, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, but I know it's not this. This being that commercial lending stuff. And so I said, what do you want to do? And I was like, I'm a sports dude. So I had this very naive thought that I said, you know what? I'm going to work in sports as an attorney in Charlotte, North Carolina. Right? I couldn't be more narrow. You know what I'm saying?
And you landed it.
And here's how it played out, though, literally. So my brother was there, my mom moved there, my aunt, my sister, everybody was in Charlotte. I love Charlotte. Right. And I literally called up the Charlotte Bobcats at the time. So, and I was looking for this guy.
Like you cold called them?
I cold called him.
Wow.
So,
hello, Bobcats?
Yeah, exactly. No, just like that. So I literally, man, like they just hired this new general counsel, right? And I was like, man, I got to get this guy to be my mentor. I want to talk to him. So that's why I called him. And I called, his name was Jared Barty. And the phone's ringing, and how can I get Jared Barty's email address? And they go, I'm sorry, sir, we can't give that to you. Right. we can transfer you to his line. No, I'm like, you can? Okay, yeah, sure. So they transfer me, it's ringing, and next thing I know, man, he picked up.
Wow.
He goes, Jared Barty. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm startled now. I wasn't expecting to get him. He goes, I go, how you doing, Mr. Barty? My name is Andre, and he stops me. He goes, you're just the guy I've been waiting to talk to. I'm like, I am? That's impossible. I've never met the guy in my life. He said, yeah, the president said that you make great suits. And I'm like, oh, man. He thinks I'm somebody I'm not.
He said, like,
case of mistaken identity.
Best suits.
That's right.
Just let me come to the office. I'll show you the best suit ever.
That's what I was thinking, though. And I said, Dre, what are you going to do with this moment? So I finally got the courage, and I said, I'm sorry, Mr. Barty. I'm not that guy, but I am your guy. That's exactly what I said to him. He later goes, well, tell me about yourself. And that was it, man. He tells me later he only said that because he thought I was a suit dude. He was embarrassed. He's like, let me get this kid a few minutes.
That's an awesome story.
We talked, we hit it off, man. Next thing I know, a few weeks later, I'm getting an offer to be director of legal affairs for the Bobcats.
Hey, bro. Yeah. When you talk about hustle, that's hustling.
That's it, man.
That's
so I'm working. I remember my first week there. It was the last week of the season, and that's the first time I met Michael Jordan.
Wow.
He walks in the office, and I'm like, dude, that's Michael Jordan right there. Later I would totally lose that fandom basically because he just is Michael.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But it was good, man, and it raised my game and it showed me a different world. I was working for Bob Johnson, Michael Jordan, that kind of thing.
Your span there was what, 5-6 years?
It was 6.5 years, and so Jared, who hired me, he left after about a year and change, a year and a half, and so that left me as the lawyer for the Bobcats, this massive, one of the 30 NBA teams.
Right. Did you jump
28,
to general to
yeah.
Wow.
So they gave me the legal department at that point, and they were saying, hey, we might hire a general counsel. Then they're like, you know what, man, you got it under control. So keep doing your thing. And so I did, and eventually they promoted me to vice president, and it was like, yo, it's my world.
Killer. That's what you call a killer. Excellence, bro.
Thank you, man. I was doing that for a while, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it. It was great. But then I just started seeing what was happening in tech.
Well, that was my question. Yeah. What pushed you to walk away from all of that?
I know. And a lot of people, at least then, were like, you sure about that? But I was like, absolutely
especially
sure.
Since, I just want to pause for 1 second, especially since you have the sort of the initiative and everything. It's like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out here. I'm going to get this job in North Carolina sports.
You
go down, you get it.
Yeah.
And props to Jared for not hanging up on you. I don't do suits.
Good dude.
So, so you get it.
Yeah.
You were the king of North Carolina of sports, Michael Jordan, which when he walked in the room, I turned to dust. Poof, I'm over. You survive that. You do it. You get promoted. You're doing your dream job. What's left in the world?
Because I got this entrepreneur fire in me, right? You know, and it started with my dad, and you know, I was a caged bird almost because I knew that I wanted to be in that world. So I didn't want to work for a team for the rest of my life. I wanted to own one. Boom. And there's only one way to really do that. You're not going to do it working, you know, for that team. So as great as it was, and as thankful as I am, by the way, you know, I knew that God got me in there. And when it was time to go, it was the perfect entrance. It was going to be the perfect exit. Sure. And that was my mentality about it. So, so to answer your question, I mean, it was more about paying attention to the times, which is something we can talk about, but you know, our folks got to be tuned into this tech thing.
I think a key point that I just want to showcase that I hear from your story is that a lot of us, you know, have a wanting to be entrepreneurs, but a lot of us don't understand the concept of being an entrepreneurial.
That's true.
And you showed that, like working through the ranks and getting up there in that position to be able to learn all those skills and acquire all that experience to be able to funnel that into what you're doing now. Yeah. Like all that is value. You know what I'm saying?
I had to grow up quick, you know, working there, and so it was one of those things where, having done that, now I was like ready for my next challenge.
That's a fantastic point, Akili. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because it's very key. But the entrepreneurial thing is very key because all of us want to go out there and feel like, you know, I got an idea, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna do my thing, but you can't do your thing.
That's right.
Unless you don't know nothing.
Exactly.
You gotta know something, so you gotta go in there and learn learn your way through, and then be able to utilize that experience. Lexi, you had something?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Mostly since I'm extremely inspired by your story, and I'm hoping that the viewers and whoever's listening on iTunes or whatever are also inspired. But do you have any advice for somebody who maybe wants to go into that line of work, or maybe just anything in general of working and doing the hustle and everything like that?
Yeah, just do it. So Nike had one of the best campaigns ever.
Are you still working for Jordan?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I mean, come on.
In fact, to prove it, the day I left, he asked me, he was like, "Dre, you sure?" You know? I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sure, man. I'm moving on." But no, I mean, I think it's just a matter of, you know, look, you only get one life, as far as we know, right? So for the time that you're here, prepare, right? You know, prepare yourself. But if you have a dream or a passion for something, you gotta pursue it.
Got to.
Because even if you fail, like, there really are no bad experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who said this quote, but it's something like, it's not about the years that you have in your life, it's about the life that you have in your years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Love
so
that.
you have to, like you said, like if you have a passion, if you have a vision, you have to
pursue it, man.
You got to.
You gotta pursue
or
it.
You're not living, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. You gotta be confident in who you are and what you know. You know, your training, particularly those of us that have advanced degrees and all this, like, you've been trained for this. You can do it. You just have to take that actual step.
Right.
You know, because otherwise it's never gonna come to, you know,
Fruition. Yeah, you're right.
I want to talk just more specifically in real terms about like that transition. So you go to pursue your dream, like. Did you know like what it was going to be? Like, tell me about the seed of Yuno. Was it kind of like, you know, well, I want to be in the tech space. Let me get in the incubator and figure something out. Or was it like Yuno? You woke up?
Actually, a combination of both.
Okay. Were you juggling different ideas, or did you kind of have like?
So that's a great point. So in 2011 is when the idea for Yuno first came about, and it honestly, this is gonna sound funny, but it came about at the time when Social Network movie came out, when Groupon was in the marketplace, and we were just on the heels of the recession. And so I had a lot of people that were asking me for money and things like that, and I used to basically say, look, man, you either gotta make more or spend less, but you can't keep asking me for more money. But then I got real and I said, man, it's hard for them to make more, and then the spending less thing is a challenge too, because people buy stuff because it makes them feel good, right? Even if they can't afford it, even if it's beyond their means. So I just started saying, you know, what could we do? Groupon was cool because it was lowering the cost of goods. It was 59% off, but that business model just didn't seem sustainable to me in 2011.
Right.
So I challenged myself. I said, man, I wonder if I can come up with something simple that can cure this.
Right.
And it was Yuno.
So
I literally,
problem solver.
I went to Social Network, watched that movie. I was fascinated, right? I don't care if they authorized it or not. It was still fascinating.
It's a great movie.
Woke up the next morning and literally had a name for a company called Yuno.
Okay.
And it started with a conversation with myself, two buddies I got on. I said, man, y'all got to hear this. Originally, it was about what you knew, what your people knew, your network, the intelligence there, human search engines. After a couple hours talking about it, we were like, well, Google has Aardvark, and so all these other ones, we were like, this will never work. But one of the guys gets off the phone, and myself and my other buddy are still talking, and we talked for about 2 hours more. And by the end of that conversation, we were like spinning our wheels. And then I said to him, I said, man, wouldn't it be cool if every time you went to buy something, I benefited, and when I went to buy something, you benefited?
Right.
So it's not really about what you know, it's more about who you know. And he paused and he goes, that's incredible. You know, and that was the start of everything. So that was the first moment of confidence. But then beyond that, so that was 2011. I'm still with the Cats. You know, I left the Cats in July 2013.
Okay.
You know, Bobcats, Hornets, whatever you want to call
Sure.
it. Same thing. So, so, you know, I left 2 years after the original idea because it took that long to get the courage and to convince my wife that we should
I'm
do
about to
this.
walk away from this secure
So
position.
I got an idea. You know Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
He's out. I got an idea called Yuno.
Yeah, so I told her, it was funny, man. We were going into a Monday. I said, babe, I think it's going to happen this week. I think I'm going to leave, right? And this was a Monday.
Wow.
Monday morning. And then I called her that afternoon. I said, babe, it happened. I left.
Bam.
So it was
Pull the
like,
trigger.
wrap. Done, right? So that was it, man. That was the moment where I said, all right, you gotta just go, man. Like, you can think about it forever, but if you don't go,
You'll never go.
You'll never go.
Right.
And you'll always regret that you didn't go when
Right.
you were thinking about it, because that was the time,
Right.
right? I mean, I was literally thinking about giving everything up at the time anyway to go to like Harvard B School.
Wow.
And so instead of doing that, I decided to enroll in University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, MBA, UNC. Shout out to them. Great program.
I wanted to ask this
So,
in terms of the point of time when you left
Yep.
to the point that you are now.
Yeah.
Like, talk about the learning curve in terms of what you've had to learn to be able
Steep.
to. Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it.
It's very steep, man. So first of all, you in the tech world, like you just mentioned, the seed, right? So you gotta sort of get through the seed phase. Then from an investing standpoint, Series A, Series B, and hopefully at that point you really made it.
Right.
But there's so much to learn. So honestly, I started off with just getting books on it. Like I went to Amazon and I just wanted to learn more about how you do these things, right? So I had the idea and I started really focusing on fleshing out the idea, but at the same time starting to construct not just a business, but a company, right? Because that's the real key. At the end of the day, we don't want to just put a product out. You know, I want a company that can live well into the future. And that's what a lot of, Facebook, all these folks, Amazon, they get that.
Right.
That, it has to be bigger than just an individual product.
For sure.
And so for me, our bigger was this mission. Like I said, I want to help ordinary people leverage their social capital. That's what I care about.
Right.
I care about the fact that folks tend to live beyond their means, and if they just had a way to leverage what they already do, buy products and tell friends what they bought.
It's a win for everybody.
It's a win for everybody, and that's what I did.
Good.
So I had to raise money. I had my first intern, a guy named Myron Tay, on my team, our CTO. And turns out, man, his family's loaded. Like, they had a lot of money, and I didn't know that when I first brought him up.
When you're kicking around with the intern, give my coffee.
He tells me one day, "Hey, Andre, did I ever tell you what my family does?"
Oh, let me get your coffee.
No, you didn't.
What kind of fish you need?
Right. So after he tells me, he was like, I'd be happy to pitch him. And I said, yeah, please do. Please pitch him. So he does that. He's from Singapore. He goes over, he pitches them. It's funny, the same day I'm in a different part of North Carolina pitching for some money too.
Sure.
And so we're constantly communicating back and forth. And he says, I don't know how it went, Andre. They aren't that receptive. Different culture, different community. He said they like it, but they're like, when do I get my return? How soon? Right.
Wow.
It's just not how we think over here.
Yeah.
But anyway, he said, I'm going to still talk to my dad. And so eventually he does. And his dad actually was our first investor. His
That's
dad put up
an amazing story.
$200,000.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
that was cool.
It's very
and then-
serendipitous. Like
Yeah.
your whole pathway.
It is, man.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed, man. I don't overlook that for a second. God has blessed me tremendously.
Well, I also think it is very serendipitous, and it is. I don't believe it, but I don't believe it's luck, right? So, but serendipity and luck are probably different things.
Right.
But I do believe that look, you have the foundation. It's clear you have this foundation, not only education wise, but work ethic wise, and then the entrepreneurial spirit you have as well. But I'm a firm believer of look, if you have that foundation of just you're grounded in whether education, wherever that education comes from, you grounded it in that ability and will, you can take those skills and translate to anywhere, right?
Absolutely.
As you're living proof of. You have that skills, you translate that to the Bobcats, and then you're like, you translate that to the tech world, and then I'm sure you'll translate it back when you're buying the Bobcats from Michael Jordan. So I think that's important to say, and I think that you, an individual like yourself, sort of surveying the landscape and being like, tech, social capital, social equity, this is the way. How do I do that? This is it. How do we do that? And solving problems in that way and continue to do that. I think that's the real lesson here, and that speaks to Keely's point about an entrepreneur. I think you personify the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur.
Let me say though too, man. Thank you, man. I think the other element to this whole thing is surround yourself with good people.
There it is.
Because my team is just phenomenal. We're all humble, hungry, and we don't have quit in us.
Right.
In our mind, this is already a done thing.
Right.
We just waiting on y'all to figure it out.
Yeah,
right?
indeed.
Like, and this whole team, everybody, a couple of them here, couple of them back in Charlotte still, but just a phenomenal team all moving in one direction.
Good.
You know, and that's what it's really all
Got
about.
the synergy.
Fantastic.
Got the synergy.
Well, before we get out of here, we had a couple things, business to take care of with Alexis and otherwise, but I just wanted to give me, like, you start with the top line of Yuno.co. Give me, like, where you are right now. Give me the bullet points. Where you are right now.
Yep.
When do you launch?
Yep.
Like, what do people need to know as of
sure.
right now?
So right now we are, first of all, always looking for capital. So anybody listening that want to get down,
How much
come
you
on.
need? That's actually earlier.
250 to 500,000. So anybody want to get down?
Lola, could you come and check for 500?
So that's point number one. But where we are right now, man, we've built out our whole retool. We call it the new Yuno, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
It really is. So you won't find it in the App Store, and that's intentional. We pulled it from the App Store.
Okay.
When we relaunch, which is going to be probably middle, end of July, maybe beginning of August, it'll be a brand new Yuno.
right.
We've got a great campaign that's coming soon for the folks, and I think it's going to be epic. You know,
Right.
you saw Jet.com's approach to the marketplace.
Sure.
It's going to be along those lines, and we're going to try to take it to a different level. So that's the first thing. And then you can find us at Shop Yuno on every platform. So Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, even LinkedIn, I guess we're there too.
Yeah.
So we're all over the place, man. And so we're coming hard, and we're retooling. So squad of 6 in Charlotte and coming hard, man.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
man.
man.
Congrats,
You
bro.
can't-
Congrats.
Thank you, man.
Seriously.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, can't say enough. Can't say enough kudos and congratulations. When we come back, we'll get all your information when we get out of here. Lexus, we got some business. What do we got?
do. So I want to talk to all of our awesome viewers, fans. I don't like to really call them fans. I like to call you guys viewers. But because you guys have been so awesome and watching and sharing, I would like to, every month I'm going to be giving away something awesome. This month I'm giving away something from a loot crate that I get every month. The picture is up. If you retweet and follow BHL Online on Twitter, you can get the Game of Thrones USB, which is in that picture there. You
It
can.
looks like a Game of Thrones tea bag.
I know, isn't it weird?
It's like the Game of Thrones
It's so
magical
strange.
tea.
No, if you take it out, it's literally the crest of Winterfell.
Oh, okay, got
And it's
it.
a USB.
All right.
I think it's really tiny.
Okay.
But if you like, subscribe, and comment on the video for today, you will get the D&D bow tie. That's also on the other side there. So. I will be picking somebody by Monday, and I will be mailing them or whatever and giving it to you. But please keep tuning in, because at one point I might be giving away some video games, GameStop gift cards, a PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live, all that kind of stuff. And I would really appreciate if you guys can keep sharing and also tuning in live when we have a chance.
Yeah, can you slide me a little some of that Xbox swag?
Right.
Okay. Thanks, Lexus.
I have
Appreciate
special
it.
things for you too, but
Okay, good.
that's another time.
All right, so I do need some. We need some Xbox stuff as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I think that does it for us.
Yeah.
I think that does it for us. We hit on everything. We did, Vegas and everything else. Everything we did, and it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure, having you in the studio.
Thank you,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Respect, brother.
same thing. Where can the people find you? And we'll give you one shout out for your URLs and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, so at Shop Yuno, and you'll find my handle through all of that. Yuno.co, of course. Go on there and get on our list, because if you're on the list, you'll get to hear about this campaign that's coming. So just put your email in there. You'll get a unique link if you want to share it out.
Okay.
It's going to be dope. It's going to be real dope.
I'm 100% convinced.
Yeah.
I'm convinced too. Everybody go support it. And yeah, man, much
Appreciate
success
it.
to you,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Yes, sir.
Lexus, where can the people find you?
You can find me all over the social media, interwebs, and also where all Lexus Torreses are sold at atorres890.
Cool. Sean?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Achilles Shine, AKILISHINE. And where can folks find you, my man?
You can find me at Joe K. Braswell on Twitter and Instagram. Not Periscope, not Meerkat just yet, but maybe.
And eventually on Yuno.
And eventually on
There you go,
Yuno.
there you go,
Exactly,
there you
that's
go.
right. Always working. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, for downloading and listening to us. When you download us on iTunes, please rate us. It helps other people find us, and it's just... helps us here as well. Thank you for all your comments on YouTube as well if you're watching. That's it. We will see you next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.